Okay, everybody, this is an actual unintentional part 2 of the professional bull riders review. I realized as I'm coming down off the adrenaline rush from it that I left one important part out, and that's the riders. Okay, I was so caught up in it when I left that the riders themselves, I'll tell you what, this is not an easy sport by a long shot, and this is just from you being there and watching it live. They are hitting solid ground. Okay, I was in the backstage area and I walked on some of it. This is solid packed dirt that they're hitting. The riders take the beating. Their bodies take the beating from the bull, and they get a second one, even if they're trained to do dismounts. But the landing cannot be easy on them by a long shot. During the event, the announcer said that you have to be careful how high you raise your arm, because you could pull your shoulder out of socket very easily. Okay. Why anyone would want to try this, I'm very curious about, let alone make a career out of it. It takes a hell of a lot of guts and a hell of a lot of courage to do it. Okay? There is nothing around you if something goes wrong. The most you have are some guys down there and one on a horse to prevent that animal from causing you life-threatening injuries or possibly even killing you. Okay? Like I said, it takes a lot of courage to do something like this. You know, in racing, you have a vehicle around you. In other sports, yes, you can get injured. But this is 8 seconds that they try to hold on for. This is 8 seconds on an animal that is doing everything in its power to throw them off. So, and I'm sure it takes a lot of training to do something like this. But this is just from watching it. This is one sport that anything can go wrong in a nanosecond. And that rider, for all intents and purposes, could lose their lives in under a tenth of a second. They could face injuries where they would never walk again. They would never be able to use their arms again. They could have their neck snapped at any given hundredth of a second. Okay? So, while you're watching this, and while you're at the event tonight, take that into account. And trust me, out of all the athletes and the sporting events I've been to, these athletes have the most respect for what they do. This is not something I would even want to try. I got tossed from a mechanical bull once and sprained my wrist, and I was landing on an air mattress, not solid ground. So, like I said, while you're watching this on TV, better yet, while you're at tomorrow night's finale for this round, just to keep in mind, keep that in mind. And by the way, these are riders, a lot of these riders have families. So, to get up and do something like this for money, you know, because they love it, and for the money, or whatever their reasons. Yeah. In fact, one rider, when he landed